What's up, homies? So I am here for an update. I skipped last week because there really wasn't much to really show. And what I wanted to do for today's update was really go over what I plan to do next with my bossing mules, because I haven't really been hard funding the newer bossing mules, which would have been my Ice Lightning and Marksman. I kind of wanted to take a step back, do a small break, and try to level up my current bossing mules to 220, just so I'd have a more comfortable bossing run. So that means at least my Jett, Kaiser, Kanna, Arc, and Pathfinder, they are in a pretty comfortable place right now, finishing all their bosses in 35 minutes or less, and earning well over 1.3 bill because they can clear up to Lomien at least. But here with my Hoyoung, I'm still trying to get used to Hoyoung bossing. So I take a bit longer here because I'm not optimizing my off burst pretty well, or not optimizing my off burst well at all. But I mean, in terms of the gear, let me just show where I'm at now. So I am currently at 14.4k stat without Maple Warrior. And if I buff with Maple Warrior, I am 15.1k stat. I think my gear is roughly the same as where it was before. Oh, I actually did try to 17 star some items. Some of them went well, some of them didn't. The one that didn't go well was my earrings, which actually ate up 3 bill and lost 1 star. But as you saw for some of my Kolix gear, the other ones, they did hit 17. They did introduce some new ancient shoulders for fodder, so I do want to do that on my shoulders later on. But for now, I don't plan to do the shoulder upgrade until I get used to Hoyoung bossing, because it's a fairly strong character at the moment. So in terms of upgrades, I think all the pots are basically done. I just really need to get the shoulder up and just clean up my bossing on here. So the next character going down the list is my Buccaneer. So I was contemplating on pushing my buck to at least Lomien level, and it probably can because I'm in a pretty comfortable place in terms of clearing bosses. Right now I clear up to Akechi in 25 minutes, and I think I left the gear pretty much the same as it was last time. I'm slowly collecting coins for superior gear, but that's just taking its time. I haven't seen any drops while I'm doing those runs, so I think I'm gonna end up just buying all 4 superior items. But or 3 of them at least, because I have 1 of them. Until then, I'm just carrying along with the 9 boss accessory set, and that's been taking care of me pretty well. Same thing here, need to do ancient shoulders from CRA for the upgrade, but until then, not much to do there. I did try to re-roll my first line IA during a recent 50% IA, and I just couldn't get anything good. But right now, Buck is in a comfortable place without me pushing it too Lomien. For this week's bossing videos, I think I only recorded my Dark Knights, so you'll see that most likely before this video if you want to check that out. But my Dark Knight is also in a comfortable place where I only plan to keep it up to Akechi for a bit, at least until I feel like I've gotten enough upgrades to be able to do a slightly more comfortable low main run. Mostly just because Damien's been a pain in the ass for myself when I was doing on my Hoyoung, so I just wanted to make it a bit easier for myself when I do these other characters. But in terms of bossing up to Akechi, my Dark Knight does it within 25 minutes, so solid 1 bill, or 993 mil. So the small upgrades I made on my Dark Knight was trying to fix some of the potentials. Most of these are roughly the same, but what I did upgrade were my 2 pendants to unique. So I think these are in a good spot now. And then the last thing were my shoes, which accidentally tiered up to legendary. It's fine. I mean, it's still like 2-line unique equivalent. I do want to get this to 2-line legendary, so 23% later, get that 6% much later. I'm not in a rush to cube this and waste more meso at the moment. Everything else is roughly the same. Still need to tier up my epics to unique or legendary depending on how lucky I am with boss cubes, and then the antique shoulder for this character as well. So that's pretty much it for Dark Knight. 25 minutes. Next and last character I talk about today is my Shadower. Shadower has by far been one of the more difficult classes for me to learn how to boss on. I've just not been very comfortable on my my Shadower so far. It can do up to Akechi within, say, about 40 minutes. It's a bit weak in terms of stat, but that's just because it doesn't have as many unique items compared to some of the other bossing mules. So I need to get that up, at least to 2-line uniques on a few of these. Just missing like 3% here and there. Stars are about the same. No other immediate upgrades at the moment. So Shadow is just chilling, just trying to get more comfortable in there. So now the question becomes, what is going to happen to the rest of the series? So at the moment, I am mostly just trying to finish all my Akechi runs within 30 minutes or less before I push for Lomien. And the reason I'm doing that is just because I'm really trying to spend the time to push my bossing mules to 220. And I'm also trying to push my Kaiser to 235. I've thought about it pretty thoroughly for a while now, and I kind of want to revive my Kaiser as a third main, so my Kaiser will be receiving funding again in the future. I am trying to find a CRA hat to replace its Absol hat, so I can move away from the old Absol 5-set meta with Arcane Weapon. So until then, I'm not really going too crazy. I'm just trying to save up as much Mesa as possible, hoping that, you know, maybe my Jett can finish its 5-set Arcanes. It's actually just missing the shoulder right now. And possibly work on Arcanes on my Kaiser as well, just depending on how lucky I am with drops. For the rest of the characters, it's just really just chilling at Akechi or Lomien. Once I feel like I'm clearing all my bosses fairly quickly and I finish leveling all of them, I'll come back to working on my Ice Lightning and Marksman. But it's really been tough to really learn all the boss like mechanics for each character, trying to get through them every week. It gets actually pretty tiring. So hopefully next few weeks, maybe not so much updates, but I'll try to upload a few more boss videos. Anyway, catch you later, homies. Until the next update.